Hello all, and welcome to the L Show, where the L in the L Show stands for leaning in, which means that we are not going to shy away from any subject, no matter how taboo or uncomfortable it may be. Subjects like menopause, sex and libido, menopause, dry vagina, hot flashes, mental health and depression, which makes you not want to have sex, also how we look and how we feel. I feel that the more that we talk about these issues, it will help change the landscape of women's experience in our communities, because we know that women is the backbone of our communities. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and I'm the owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary located here in Cornelius. We are a compounding pharmacy with a focus on functional medicine and a much more natural approach to your health. And for those who are not familiar with what compounding is where your pharmacist makes medications that are formulated in a specific dose and or in a specific dosage form that is unique to you. And not all compounds or compounding facilities are alike. Quality shows in every aspect of what we do. You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary, or on our website, roserxboutique.com. And the information presented on this show does not take the place of advice from your healthcare provider and may not be suitable for all audience. I'll say that again, may not be suitable for all audiences. Happy Friday to all of my viewers and listeners. I hope that everyone had a fabulous week despite the weather, and hopefully we'll be able to just enjoy the weekend ahead, because pretty soon, if not already, many of us are going to be gearing up to send our children back to school. Wow, the summer has gone by so fast.
Blown by.
Oh my gosh. I mean, listen, I know, not me, I know some of the other really good parents, they, have their children in sports and things like that. So you have the travel sports, you have the competition and dance and all that stuff. I mean, listen, so if your children are not in school already, use this weekend to just enjoy the calm before the storm. And with going back to school, especially in younger children, comes all of those communal illnesses that seem to just circulate because of the new close proximity. Our children become vectors, bringing home something that they caught and passing it along to family members. And we're going to be in that overlapping cycle of illness where some people are feeling like they're coming down with something, some are battling an active infection, just getting over illness, or it's quite possible an entire household is ill at the same time. So this is a great time to stock up on things like elderberry, zinc, vitamin C, etc. And, over the summer, I know that I saw a good amount of COVID, flu, and even some RSV. And of course, it's going to increase because now there are more opportunities to spread. So while I don't have a crystal ball, this is just the nature of viruses. People are being hospitalized with the hope that they can make it out alive. And it is remarkable and scary, but what can we do? Well, the answer is vaccinations. It's not, people know that I'm not super political, but I am fierce when it comes to protecting our communities and helping people live long and healthy lives. So when I actually heard a political platform talk about federal funding being cut off to schools with vaccine mandates, it was very unsettling. So that needs to be cleaned up and clarified. Our morbidity and mortality rates would soar. And as much as I believe in a holistic approach to health, research and clinically backed preventive measures made possible in Western medicine absolutely has its place. But because of Dr. Google and Dr. Conspiracy Theory, many folks will meet an outcome that was preventable. And I know that there may be certain people that disagree with me. However, facts are facts. The importance of vaccinations, especially in certain populations, cannot be overstated. Diabetics, people with heart disease, people with lung disease, they have a much higher likelihood of hospitalization and death from vaccine-preventable illnesses. And if you are the caretaker of one of these individuals and you're not vaccinated, you are putting them at risk. And what about the children who may be severely immunocompromised and are medically unable to be vaccinated? Passing along one of these illnesses to them could be a death sentence. So, there are people who will say, well, I haven't had the flu in years. I have never gotten the flu shot and I don't get sick. Well, you owe your neighbors and those people around you a huge thank you, because it's probably due to something that we call herd immunity. So in simple terms, This means that most people around you have been vaccinated and are not passing anything on to you. So you are benefiting from vaccinations that you may or may not believe in. So vaccinations are not just about you. They are about community and your family and your connections. People will endure and struggle and shovel mounds of anything you put in their path for a loved one. So how is this any different? So if you can get vaccinated, do so. Have a conversation with your healthcare provider as well about your concerns to come up with a plan that gives you comfort. A few pearls that I want to leave you with in this segment. No flu vaccine is ever going to give you the flu. They are inactive, okay? If you have felt ill after getting a vaccine, that's because your immune system is working. So that's a good thing. Your immune system is working. It is recognizing it as foreign. It's going to town, okay? And also, vaccines are there to help your body fight off an illness and reduce the incidence of hospitalization or death. And vaccinations are not only about you, they are about your community. Would you agree with me, Rachel?
Could not agree more.
Thank you very much for that. And so, again, people, as I said, I'm not political, but I do know that once we hear these things and we're like, wow, people get on the bandwagon. And so now we have parents not wanting to get their children vaccinated. And then you have, people saying, oh, that's against my rights. But I understand all of the concern about rights, but we are talking about your community. We are talking about humanity. This is humanity. This is not politics. This is humanity, people. Humanity, right? So if you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And do you feel like you're taking too many medications, ineffective supplements, or both? Make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely work on solving that issue. And remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. So take advantage of the gut supportive supplements that we have at Rose Pharmacy. Now, did you know that the supplement industry is not regulated, which means there's no guarantee that what you see on a bottle is what you are getting in every capsule, tablet, powder form, etc. However, Rose Pharmacy, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle. Very few companies can offer you that. And also, considering the time of year, make sure that you pick up a bottle of our Sweets elderberry syrup, just what we need to help our immune system. And I think you all have heard Rachel's voice. So Rachel Pritchard, she is here with us on the show today.
Hello, hello.
She is our returning guest. Well, this will be the third time. Yes, the
there
third.
There we go. Yeah, hat trick. Okay. Thank you for having me. I always have so much fun with you. And so I'm so excited to be here. And listening to your intro, I don't know if people are tuning in visually, but I'm just nodding right along with you because I just couldn't agree more with everything you're saying. And I think they're all really important, valuable points to be made.
Exactly. You have a child who
Absolutely.
And so I have a child. I want our children to be protected, right?
And thinking about vulnerable populations, women who are pregnant, really important.
Mm-hmm.
And even for pregnant women to get vaccinated as well. Getting sick during pregnancy can be extremely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes there's a lot of confusion of, should I be vaccinated if I'm pregnant? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
And then once you have that baby, you're passing immunity to the baby, and the baby's too little to be vaccinated. So we're also protecting the newborns and all of the kids under age of 6 months by getting vaccinated as well and creating herd immunity for them. And then also my sweet cancer patients as well. We need to protect our immune compromised.
We heard it here, guys. Rachel Pritchard. When we're back, we'll be more with Rachel. See you then. Hello, all, and welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. Do you feel like you are taking too many medications, ineffective supplements, or both? Make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely work on solving that issue. And remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut. The effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. So take advantage of the gut supportive supplements that we have at Rose Pharmacy. And did you know that the supplement industry is not regulated, which means that there is no guarantee that what you see on the bottle is what you're getting in every capsule, tablet, powder, etc. However, with Rose Pharmacy, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle that we sell. Very few companies can offer you that. And also, considering the time of year, make sure that you pick up a bottle of our Sweets elderberry syrup, just what we need to help our immune system. Today, we have back on the show Rachel Pritchard. She is a board-certified nurse practitioner who, along with her sisters, owns CoDa Wellness. And her sister's names are Janice Smith and Stephanie Backus. Am I pronouncing Stephanie's? Okay, perfect. Okay. I know I've said it a few times, just making sure, because I will mess up. Thanks so much for being back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for your comment at the end of this last segment. Okay, so when we were on the break, you were mentioning a couple other things. So please share with our audience what we were talking about.
The first thing that came to my mind that I just would love to share, especially for just hardworking moms on the go. Well, moms and dads too, but with school coming back and all of our kids in activities, there's so many things that we're responsible for. And when you do get sick and it hits you hard, we can't afford to be down and out. So one of the services that CoDa offers is immunity IV infusions. They work wonders if you are on the front end or even midway through a virus or illness. We can do an IV infusion that we infuse about over an hour. It has high-dose zinc, vitamin C, B vitamins, IV fluids. We can add in anti-nauseas, pain control, whatever you need for the particular virus that you have. It's a great service, and we see wonderful turnaround. So if you're doing all the right things and you get unlucky with the virus and you need to pick me up, please come see us.
I'll be there.
It's so good. It's so good. I actually I did a mobile IV. The husband and wife had COVID. She had COVID first. He knew he was getting it. So I went there. Obviously, I masked up. They masked up. I was in the home for about an hour, gave him an IV infusion, saw him 2 weeks later. He said within 24 hours, he did not feel sick at all. He bounced back. It was actually really just amazing feedback for what I already knew worked, but to hear it, he was just on the brink of feeling sick, and we were able to go in and just really give his immune system a boost. So
that is awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So listen, so she has led into already some of the wonderful things that they do at CoDa. But Rachel, it has been a few months since you have been on the show. And I know that all of our listeners and viewers, they have not seen all of the shows that you have been on. So
let's do it.
I want to do a little bit of a recap with regards to your background. So could you share with our audience a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. I have a nursing background. I worked inpatient oncology for 8 years. And then I became a family nurse practitioner, worked in primary care for 10 years. And now I have branched off from primary care and have added more of an integrative focus, functional medicine focus, focus on bioidentical hormone replacement, overall wellness, looking into more holistic and integrative ways to keep people well.
Don't forget sick visits.
Don't forget sick visits. That was a mouthful. We have a lot of services, specialized hormone replacement services that obviously on a lot of those I work very closely with Nicole and her pharmacy. Mm-hmm. If you're a provider listening, I cannot rave enough about Nicole's services to the community. I really mean that, though. She's such a wonderful resource to me if I have any questions. I trust in her products and her medications. My patients love her. I cannot say enough if you are a provider or a patient in the community looking for a pharmacy.
That's so sweet. I didn't even pay her for that plug, y'all. Just FYI.
She has been such a support system to me, and I figured I wanted to use this opportunity to, really share that.
Well, thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. I mean that truly.
So, Rachel, I need some news about your location.
Let's do it.
Okay. Tell us what's going on, because before the last time you were here, we were trying to figure out what was going on. So give us an update.
This has been a saga if you've been following along with us. And I think that just speaks to the nature of starting a business, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have to pivot. Things are going to come up. Things don't always go as planned the first year. But I am resilient and I am a fighter, and I believe in this. I believe in this wellness center so fully that anything that comes my way, we are going to figure it out and we're going to be better for it in the end. So I started this doing mobile and virtual. We had purchased a building in Cornelius. We are in the process of still developing that. And it has been very difficult.
I know how that can be in Cornelius.
We have a meeting at the town hall on Monday to see if our variance is going to be approved for a front handicap parking spot.
Okay.
We are working on that. And while that variance is under approval, we cannot do any inside construction work. So it's been a very slow, stagnant process. And I'm ready. I'm ready to see the clients, see the people. So we've adjusted. We are renting a space in Davidson, a beautiful space in Davidson. It is over by the Circles. It's above the Spirited Cyclist, over by the Harris Teeter right there. It's a beautiful space. And within a couple weeks, we'll be seeing patients there. And I cannot wait to share that space with you guys. And we're still going to develop Cornelius as well. So we're not going to stop.
Yeah. So that's near Milkbread.
It is. Yeah. Same complex as Milkbread. We're on the second floor over there, and we can't wait. We cannot wait to show people what we've been working on.
Well, I'll tell you that I am familiar with that space, and it's beautiful. So I am certain, and just again, I've never walked into it, but so the area is beautiful. From the pictures that I've seen, are absolutely gorgeous.
The area is beautiful. The businesses that are there have been very successful. They've all been so nice, so welcoming to us, even just within that space as we've kind of been renovating. We've worked really hard on creating, from the moment you walk in the door to every treatment room, a really comfortable and beautiful experience. It's going to be great.
So are we saying 2 weeks? Is that what we're saying? 2 weeks?
Let's go September 9th.
Okay.
I would like to be 2 weeks. But if this year has taught me anything, it's you're ready when you're ready. So
right. Okay.
But it's close. Yeah. And I'm still doing virtual. I'm still doing mobile visits. And we've been really successful with that model so far. And so I think this is just the next layer and the next phase of that. I can't wait to really be in person with more people. Hire more staff. We just hired a PA.
I was going to ask you about that.
So exciting. Her name's Katie Morris. She's amazing. She does Botox injectables, filler. So she is our aesthetic queen. She has a lot of experience. And so I can't wait to offer that as well.
So then you're still seeing your clients from before, your patients from before. And now without even having the brick and mortar, you're growing.
It's wild.
So I'll just ask, I'll put this out there, and then if you don't like it, just throw it back at me. Okay,
let's do it.
So what about the weekend visits? Because, at one point in time, we talked about just a little bit.
Yep.
But I'm thinking with you growing.
Yeah.
And then you growing into this space.
Yep.
Now you've hired another provider.
Yep.
You're going to get, and people are coming to you. Like people are coming. People
I love
are coming.
it. Yeah.
So so the weekend.
Right now, I think it would be on a scheduled basis. Like I don't think we'll have solid hours yet. Certainly for our IV infusion room, that will be coming. We have to. And then, so I think right now it'll be on a reach out basis if somebody needs me. We have voicemail, I have email, existing clients for sure. If they needed me, they know they can reach out. So
the PA is going to be doing again, so fillers, Botox, what else?
Anything like facial aesthetics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
And her name was
Katie Morris.
Well, we'll have to have Katie Morris on the show
She's
to talk
wonderful.
about what she's gonna do.
Yes.
Right. So
she did my lips. So if
and
you
your
are
lips and your lips do look good.
Like no
yes.
shame, very natural. I think people are gonna love Katie because she is so approachable, so gentle. I was a little nervous. I'd never had my lips done. I'd heard it really was spicy and kind of hurt. And she was just so gentle. And I think it's that balance between like, did she get something done? But it's not too obvious, but things are just looking good.
Versus the duck lips.
That's
and
right.
that is what that just bugs me.
Same.
When I'm like, why was that even cute? Did somebody say that, like what's the menu? Like regular lips, duck lips, pooch, like what? But it's just crazy to me. So.
She just has such an ability to look at the face and kind of balance it. Oh, I'm so used to not sharing this. She did give me a little filler here. So just to like balance the symmetry in your face. I felt like my under eyes were kind of tired, and I thought I needed something in my eyes, and I just needed a little filler through the cheek. Balance it out. Gotta come see Katie.
We love her already. Love her already. And if you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you. And do you feel like you're taking too many medications, ineffective supplements, or both? Make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. And remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and any of therapy that you may be taking is going to be linked with how well your gut is performing. Make sure that you realize that the supplement industry is not regulated, and at Rose Pharmacy, we can guarantee what's in every bottle, which other people just cannot do. So considering the time of year as well, remember, Sweets elderberry is great for building up that immunity, just what we need this time of year. So we'll be right back with Rachel Pritchard from CoDa Wellness. See you on the other side of the break. Welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no more. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And do you feel like you're taking too many medications, ineffective supplements, or both? Make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely solve that issue. Remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut, and the effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. So take advantage of the gut supportive supplements that we have at Rose Pharmacy. And did you know that the supplement industry is not regulated, which means there is no guarantee that you are getting what is seen on that bottle, whether or not it's the capsules, tablets, or powders that you're taking. However, at Rose Pharmacy, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle, and very few companies can offer you that. And also, considering the time of year, make sure that you pick up a bottle of Sweets elderberry syrup, just what we need to help our immune system. And we are back with my guest, Rachel Pritchard of CoDa Wellness. Rachel, when we left off, we were talking about the balancing of your face. Listen, I love her.
Thank you.
I'm coming. It looks great. Looks great.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about just now with you kind of getting into the groove.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you seeing mostly? What patients are you seeing mostly at this point? What are you seeing?
Absolutely. I think the largest patient population that I'm seeing right now is hormone balancing, hormone replacement for men and women, perimenopause and menopause. And I think the reason I see so much of that is because there's such a gap in what the traditional healthcare model is able to do and willing to do. So it is very, very common that I will get patients with a constellation of symptoms that they've already kind of reached out to their primary care for and kind of told that either one, that's normal. It's the phase of life. You'll get through it. It's normal. Mm-hmm. Or that we don't test hormones here. And so those are the patients that are kind of feeling frustrated. Maybe they've reached a dead end. They have a whole slew of symptoms going on. And that kind of leads them to me. Maybe I've helped their friends, helped their neighbor, helped their mom, helped their son, whatever. And they say, go see Rachel. And we start to dig in a little deeper into their hormones.
So one thing that you mentioned, and it's sad, right? So, when they go see their regular provider, being able versus being willing. So
very big difference.
Very big difference. So the sad part is the willingness, right? So the way that we feel, the way that we go about during this crazy time, being told that basically it's just whatever, just figure it out.
Absolutely.
Figure it out. I actually had one client tell me that her provider told her when she talked about just having, low libido and things like that, that her provider told her, well, just have your husband give you a back rub.
Oh,
right.
If it were that easy.
Yeah. I'm like, really? You thought that was a good idea?
Wow.
Like, and that's her provider.
Was it a male provider?
It was a male provider. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like that's right. So yeah, just let your husband give you a back rub. So,
I mean, I will take a back rub, but that's
it
not
ain't
going
gonna get to the yeah, right.
And this is so common. And listen, I was in primary care and I was always willing, but it was difficult within a traditional model sometimes. to get to the root of what we really needed to get to. And when we go through perimenopause, this is happening for 7 to 10 plus years before your last menstrual period. That's a decade.
That is
of your life that you are going through so many physical and emotional changes. And sometimes you don't know what's wrong. And you feel like, what's wrong with me? There's been such a shift between my normal behavior, mood, physique, desires, and that may be coming in waves. It could be coming in cycles. It could hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're left going, what just happened? And so the first person you go to is your OBGYN or your PCP, and they say, maybe here's an SSRI. You seem anxious. Oh, you can't sleep. You must have anxiety. Your mood is labile. Your temper's a little short-fused. You're not focusing as much at work. You must need an antidepressant.
That is sad.
And so I have a whole bunch of people coming in on SSRIs, and guess what? That's not fixing the problem because their problem wasn't that they were depressed or anxious. It's a hormonal problem. And you want to know what some SSRIs do? They make you gain more weight, and they further decrease your libido.
Exactly.
So some of the things you're coming in with, we've now made them worse. And now we're dealing with what's a side effect of the SSRI and what are the original symptoms that kind of led you to seek out that care. And I'm going to preface this very carefully and say there are patients that need antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. If you've had a major life event that we know is stemming these symptoms from you, or you've always struggled with depression or anxiety, these medications can also be life-saving. But what I'm saying is your life is good, your job is good, you've never had depression, you've never had anxiety, and all of a sudden you're feeling a type of way and it doesn't make sense to you. Maybe you are depressed. Maybe those symptoms make you depressed or anxious. But why aren't we including a hormone panel as an initial baseline before we put somebody on an SSRI or an SNRI? And so that's, I think, where a lot of people seek me out and we start to dig in.
It's sad that, in the algorithm of going to your PCP, when, you're looking at all of these factors. And of course, it would make sense to anyone. I mean, someone walking in, this has never been me. This has never been the way that I've behaved. It started and I don't know who I am.
Correct.
That is like red flag number one, right?
I'm not anxious. I'm not depressed. I've never been. Everything in my life is seemingly good. I have. And that's the first thing we jump to.
And I will say this too, the number of clients that come in and they have been on, this antidepressant for years. And it's just,
maybe 10.
Yeah, or more, more than that.
Yeah.
And it's just, just keeps on getting refilled. And, they're like, I really don't even know if it's actually working. I just did it because my provider said this is what I needed.
Absolutely.
And now can I get off of it and feel okay? Can I?
Or even just the casualness of prescribing an SSRI, an SNRI, or something that's really working on the neurotransmitters in the brain, compared to the fear that women are made to feel over taking a hormone or choosing a hormone therapy. And I think there has to be the same consideration for all types of medicines that we're putting into our body. And I just don't think we've done a good enough job with keeping the conversation open, educating our healthcare providers that you can use hormones safely. You can use hormones safely, sometimes safer than SSRIs or SNRIs. And why aren't we giving them the same consideration? And that's really what I'm passionate about, getting people to feel good from the root of their problems. And if that's hormonal, let's figure it out. If it's adrenal, let's figure that out. If it's your thyroid, let's figure that out. If you're nutrient depleted, let's figure that out before we're just throwing pharmaceuticals at you.
I remember long time ago, so there was Prozac. Prozac lost its patent and, of course, became the generic fluoxetine. And then they rebranded it under Seraphim. And that was specifically for, when you're around your period, all of the symptoms that you had, the irritation, the agitation, all of that to help basically you not lose your mind, right? So,
or paroxetine, Paxil.
Yeah. So it was
for menopause,
right? And Paxil for menopause.
Paxil for menopause. It literally the clinical indication on Paxil.
Exactly.
Except for they also made a branch off it that was more expensive than Paxil and made it a weird dose. And Paxil didn't come in, so that menopausal women had to pay like quadruple the price to get the menopause antidepressant.
You see?
Such a scam.
I know. I'm telling you. So you see, our voices got elevated here because, we're passionate about this subject. But that is just what we go through just in our healthcare system. And so it's places like CoDa Wellness where, you're going to get the total body workout.
Thank you.
Workup.
We're going to break the cycle of that.
So when we come back, we're going to continue the discussion with Rachel Pritchard of CoDa Wellness. We will see you on the other side of the break.
Thank you.
Then. All right. Thanks, Rachel. You're an amazing girl.
Oh,
love you. Love
same.
you.
Same to you. Oh my gosh.
Hello all, and welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman. If you or your healthcare provider has been looking for a quality compounding pharmacy in the Lake Norman area, look no further. Rose Pharmacy is the place for you, where quality shows in every aspect of what we do. And do you feel like you're taking too many medications, ineffective supplements, or both? Make sure that you take advantage of our consultation services where we can help you safely work on solving that issue. And remember that everything begins and ends with a healthy gut. The effectiveness of any therapy that you may be on is linked to how well your gut is performing. So take advantage of the gut supportive supplements that we offer at Rose Pharmacy. And did you know that the supplement industry is just not regulated, which means there is no guarantee that what you see listed on that bottle is what you are getting in every capsule, tablet, or powder, etc., that you may be taking. However, with Rose Pharmacy, there is a guarantee of what is in each and every bottle that we sell, and very few companies can offer you that. Also, considering this time of year, make sure that you pick up a bottle of Sweets elderberry syrup. So that's just what we need to help our immune systems. And we are back with my guest, Rachel Pritchard of CoDa Wellness. We left off getting really hyped up about the whole, Paxil thing, and it just really, and of course we continue talking about it throughout the break as well. It really just is amazing that, over the course of women coming in, needing assistance with what's going on, and it's still, you know what? Maybe it's around menopause. So, we're going to give you Paxil. Well, we're going to give you the branded, whatever that branded, I don't remember the name of the drug. The branded one is for paroxetine. That's just absolutely crazy. It's nuts.
It was marketing to take advantage of menopausal women so that pharmaceutical companies make money. That's all that is.
It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And, I'll say this too. And we touched a little bit about this on the break too with men. People are not aware. I don't believe people are truly aware of the downstream effects of long-term usage of these antidepressants.
Absolutely.
Like Lexapro, right? So
how many people really come in and they've been on these, SSRIs, Lexapro especially, I see this a lot with, but tired, low motivation, low sex drive, low libido, but they aren't crying every day. They're maybe not having this major emotional swing of barometer. So that's controlled, right? We've kind of shut off the parts that were making us feel bad, but are we getting added value from that? Some people, sure, we could say, given the certain situation. But in general, I think if we take a deeper look when the symptoms present, there a lot of times could be an identifiable cause for what's going on. And I know we've talked a lot about women, but, men experience hormonal shifts and imbalances. at a young age all the way
Mhm.
from as I'm aging, I'm losing testosterone and symptoms are creeping in. And maybe that looks like lower motivation, lower sex drive for men as well. Maybe I'm taking an afternoon nap. Maybe my workout routine at the gym, where I used to be burning fat and creating muscle, I'm not seeing those gains anymore. I'm recovering longer from my workouts. Those could all be signs for men. Weight gain around the middle, lipid levels going up, that maybe your testosterone is low. And I think what's really cool, what we can do at CoDa is we can really optimize those levels. You don't have to be completely deficient and have zero testosterone to qualify for testosterone replacement. So how do we get you to a level that works for your goals and your needs safely? And so I think that bringing men into the discussion is important
that's
too.
important. Absolutely.
Because they do also go through major hormone shifts as well that can really affect your quality of life. And I just thought of something too that I want to say. We're talking a lot about symptom treatment with hormones, but what I also think is important is that, to me, these are longevity medications. These are helping preserve organ systems. And even if you didn't
Very
have
good
a really
point.
rough menopause transition, we can say definitively, because there is good research out there, estrogen is good for your bones. It helps prevent osteoporosis.
Yes.
When you start, and let me actually back up. Bioidentical estrogens, bioidentical progesterone, not progestin.
Correct.
When I'm talking about
Thank
preserving body systems and safety, I'm talking about bioidentical hormones. I'm not talking about synthetic hormones, and that's important. When started at the right phase of menopause, these are cardiovascular protective, and we can say that. Not synthetic hormones. Those are not cardiovascular protective, and they can actually put you at higher risk. And even when we think about memory and preserving neuroplasticity, hormones are so important. So when I think about aging well, hormones, anti-aging medicine must include hormone replacement. And so it's not just about, oh my gosh, I'm having a hot flash. Yeah, we're going to treat that too. We're going to give you your sex drive back. We're going to give you, normal temperature control. But I'm also talking about preserving other body systems and aging well. And I think that is just important and something I wanted to share too.
So let's go back to something that you mentioned, depletion versus optimization. So typically, if you're still in that range, then, people are not going to really do anything. But
well, and insurance won't let you. So when I was a PCP, we have very strict guidelines, right? If your testosterone level isn't below 299, you're not a candidate for testosterone replacement. Well, what's normal? Between 300 and 999?
Isn't that range is
That's
so
huge.
Yes.
So if I'm a man at 305 compared to a man at the same age who's sitting at 700, 800, and 900, those men feel different. They feel dramatically different. But you're not technically deficient. So when you're working in a traditional model, we can't touch that. And that to me is sad. But what I can do, because I'm not insurance driven, I can say, you're at a 300, a 400, you're probably going to feel better at a 700 or an 800. And let's get you there. And let's get you there safely, thoughtfully, gently, well-informed, talking about risk versus benefit. But I can guarantee you the benefit of sitting at a 300 compared to a 600, 700, 800 is life-changing for a lot of people.
And that's optimization.
Optimizing.
That's optimizing.
Absolutely.
Right. And so we try to do it in women and in men.
We do that. And I think that's something unique in kind of the private sector or the wellness sector or the more integrated sector. We care deeply about optimization, not just you have a deficiency or you don't qualify within that bracket. And I think that's a clear difference.
So something just really quickly too that I just want to point out, and we talked about this when you were on the segment the last time. Even though you're not insurance driven, you guys do print forms for patients. So please just really quickly give that plug, because that's important. I'm sure people are probably thinking, do they do anything with insurance?
Right. And so we do not directly take insurance. We do take HSAs, FSAs. We've just applied to be in part of the Care Credit Network. I have designed our system so that you get a super bill. It has up-to-date ICD-10 codes, procedure codes, billing codes. And my hope is that because I've designed them that way, people can submit them to their insurance company and hopefully get reimbursed. I, of course, can't guarantee that, but really was important to me to at least give everybody the fighting chance to at least be able to attempt to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. And that's one thing that I'll say that also makes you unique, because not many places, not many, wellness centers do that, right? So they're not going to give you the form. I mean, some do, but not many, many. So
I don't want to lose sight of that this type of healthcare can seem not accessible to everybody, or that it's a little bit privileged to get optimized healthcare or wellness or a more holistic model. So I believe in price transparency. I have patients who set up a payment plan for certain things. I'm willing to work with somebody because I really believe in this.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I want to ask this question. I feel like we're about to run out of time.
Okay.
I have so many.
We could do this all day.
I have so many things. So your approach, really quickly. So is your approach to the patient, whether or not it's man, woman, and by the way, she's primary care, so she sees the range, and we didn't even get into that.
I do. It's so hard for me to turn that part of my brain off. Head to toe. I mean, but yes.
So your approach, is it low and slow, or do you have that patient where you're like, okay, I need to be aggressive?
So my approach tends to be low and slow and thoughtful. That's who I am. But I also, I take into account the patient's symptoms and their goals. So as long as we're being safe and a patient wants to swing for the fences, I can do that. Nicole knows. I'm sending her my scripts. I tend to go low and slow and thoughtful and work it up because I want it to be a good user experience. But it depends on the patient's goals.
I mean, we only have a little bit.
I know. You guys, I could talk about
all day,
patient care all day long.
Gosh, so
I love this. Yeah. Thank you.
We're going to have her back on the show.
I hope so.
Very, very, very soon, because they just do so many exciting things there. Great patient care, great bedside manner. I just can't even like speak about it enough. Really quickly, where can people find out more about CoDa Wellness?
Yes, CoDaWellnessNC.com. You can follow us on Instagram, CoDa Wellness. You can email me at info@CoDaWellnessNC.com.
Thank you so much,
guys.
Thank
you for having me.
Thank you for listening this Friday. Love being with you guys. Ladies, block off that 3 to 4 p.m. time slot every Friday for the show. We want to wrap up our week together on a happy note. Thanks again. Love you guys, and see you next Friday. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.